What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? It's that time of week. It's Media Clash time. I'm your host, Wayne, as always joined by
Paul.
And we missed last week, I know, but, you know, when they take bones out of you, it kind of tends to hurt. And, yeah, I was in so much pain last Thursday. It wasn't happening. So we're here this week, and we are going to talk about some movies and some games and stuff like that. And as always, every week, we start with what we're playing, what we're watching. And I actually started playing something new because the PlayStation Plus changed over to their new...
Game Pass.
No, it's not Game Pass.
Call it Game Pass.
It's not
it's
Game
fucking
Pass.
Game Pass.
Not really.
Okay.
It's not.
The only thing y'all did was just add trophies to PS1 games.
They, well, no, because they're not all there, so it's not really...
Not yet, but it will be.
They gave... because mine was already prepaid for like 2 years. I got the premium. I just got switched over to the premium. And so Ghost of Tsushima was free.
I want to play that so bad.
It's pretty decent. I keep forgetting what buttons are what. And
did you put in a Kurosawa mode?
No, because I don't like because you can go so in the menu when you get to pick that, it doesn't only change the look, it changes the sounds.
Oh.
So it's not like, so when it's in normal, you hear like normal wind sound. So, but when it's in Kurosawa mode, it sounds like it's an old television.
Oh, that's cool.
And I mean, it's cool, but I'm like, no, like maybe another plate, but
is this the director's cut?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's basically what it was the PS5 upgraded version was that. But it's good. I like it. It does kind of suck that, you know, quest markers are like in different sections of, so I traveled south to unlock, to do a quest where I could unlock a blacksmith. And that's another thing that kind of irks me because I'm all about customizations and like crafting and crap in games, and this doesn't seem like it has like there's supposedly a lot of armor choices, but you gotta, I guess, find them. So I'm like, you go to the vendor and they have nothing.
You can go sit naked in a spring and
so you go rest.
Create haku.
Well, no.
Not
so
haku,
when you go sit in the hot springs, you contemplate things, and your life, your HP goes up for every one you do. Like you can't do it like every new one you find, but you contemplate, so you get like backstory and stuff. See,
the best not side mission, but like collectible or mini game is the fucking slash. See how many fucking things.
No, that is a pain in the ass because it's button combo real quick. Mm-hmm. So I am not gonna get anywhere near. Like, I barely got the first one I found. And it was like L1, XX, L1, triangle, L1. I'm like... And you got to do it like 6 times, and each time they add a button.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. This is... See,
the thing is, on PlayStation, that's about the only game I want to play.
I mean, they're fucking. I've never been I've said it a million times. I'm not a fan of their exclusives. I could give two shits about The Last of Us. Like, I find it hilarious. They're milking that like Naughty Dog's this great studio, and all they're doing is milking the same. They're as bad as Bethesda with Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean
that's literally what they're doing. Oh, we're gonna remake. They remastered the game and put it on PS4.
It's fucking.
And now they're redoing the game.
Doom.
And they're not even really redoing it. They're just. It doesn't upgrading the graphics even more.
It doesn't look that big of a difference.
No, they put in ray tracing and all there is a difference. Like I heard like Chris Ray-Gun, like I could barely tell a difference. I'm like, no, bro, you can see the difference.
You can see the difference, but it doesn't look any better.
I mean, it's more detail and
when they were doing that, at Summers Fest,
it's the lighting, the lighting effects are different, and
somehow they look bigger.
So I watched that, and they were talking to Troy. And they basically said, yeah, we just used all the old dialogue. Like, so, and Troy looked visibly pissed. Like, he looked visibly pissed that he's like, wait, you're fucking using me again and I'm not getting paid. That's basically all I could see running through his head.
See, I'm pretty excited for the show when that comes out.
I don't know, because that picture looks stupid too.
It's got Pedro Pascal, sorry. And he's awesome in just about everything he does. And the little girl from Game of Thrones is very good. She was very good in Game of Thrones. So I'm kind of excited about that. And if anything, Troy looks like what Ethan might look like. Like, with a little makeup and hair. Like, he could have played Ethan.
That's probably who he's playing. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. I could get
them two. I'm guessing he might play Tommy.
I don't know. Like, I could give two craps. Like,
yeah, I give two shits about the game, but I'll give the show. It's an HBO Max thing, and they got good actors attached to it. Will they get into part 2? I hope not.
I don't know. Like, everybody that I've listened to talk about, I have faith in HBO. Really? Because they shit the bed on Game of Thrones.
Well, that was at the end.
That quality went down like massively, and HBO had every bit of control to go, no, this is shit.
It was the fact that the two guys couldn't wait to get finished with Game of Thrones because they had a fucking Star Wars thing set up. They had that what if the South won the Civil War show that quickly got fucking shit canned because that got announced right around the Black Lives Matter thing. So that got shit canned real fucking quick. Yeah, dude, they were like more focused on, I can't wait to go do these other things. Let's hurry up and finish this fucking show.
I saw an article, and it was about like pop culture tattoos that people regret now, and it's like somebody's like, had I known how Game of Thrones was gonna end, I wouldn't. I'm like, you're dumb if you thought that was gonna like.
A Boston fan got when the Celtics made the finals, he got a fucking tattoo of the banner saying 2022 World Champion on his arm. They're literally, if the Warriors win tonight, which I think they're winning right now, Boston's eliminated.
You remember when Golden State...
fucking Golden State is winning by 15 points right now.
Boston hasn't been shit since fucking
the 80s.
Kevin Durant was there.
Boston?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant never played for.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Who am I thinking of?
I promise you, Kevin Durant never played there.
Who am I thinking of?
Kyrie?
No.
Played there. Larry Bird?
No.
Fucking...
No, Kevin Garnett, not Durant. That's the last time they won a championship.
Oh, the big three?
Yeah.
Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Yeah, because they had to build a super team. Like,
yeah. Well,
because they seen what Miami did.
That's what that's all basketball teams do.
Yeah.
Because remember, Golden State used to suck. They were the Saints of the NBA.
You get a really good draft class. That turns it around. You drafted Steph, Clay, and fucking, I think Green. I don't know if they drafted Green, but dude, and you had Steve Kerr come in to be your fucking head coach. Turns shit around. Look at Dallas right now. Luka coming in, basically changed that fucking team when he got drafted. You just need a good fucking draft class. Unfortunately, the Pelicans don't have good draft classes. I mean, well, technically they do. You had fucking Anthony Davis and Byron Davis? No.
Yeah, Chris Paul, who didn't do shit while he was here.
No, dude, he was the best fucking player we had, but they wouldn't build a team around him. That's the problem. Fucking management, the GM, and the ownership at the time didn't want to pay money to build a team around him. Same with Anthony Davis. That's why I'm not fucking... Because people are like, oh my God, fucking fuck Chris Paul, fuck Anthony Davis because they left the team. It's like, no. They signed extensions. They gave Baron Davis, him too, after Chris Paul left. Drew Holiday. All fucking great players that we had, but we wouldn't pay money to fucking build teams around them. Build good players, supportive players around him.
They all
Anthony Davis re-signed twice with us.
They all want to be Kobe, but they could never. They can't. None of them could play like Kobe.
Kobe never won his championship until fucking Shaq and Phil got there.
Yeah, but
he won one after Shaq and Phil left.
Yeah, but he was like you know.
Do we forget the super
his little scoring, titles and all that when he had nobody else on the team, to scored 80 in a game, and although they still lost, and he scored 80 in a game. That's the one that crushed his ego.
We forget his fucking super team after, like when Shaq was still there, when it was Gary Payton, Kobe, Karl Malone, fucking Shaq, and I think Stockton.
Yep.
And they still couldn't win a championship. They barely made it to the fucking... No, they got bounced in, I think, in the second round of the playoffs or the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, professional sports is all bullshit. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is good. I played that. I didn't get to talk about it last week. But I wrote up a review for Super Barrels of Baking. That's on the website mediaclash.net, and it's a good game. I suck at side scrollers, but the art style kept me interested enough to play through and keep trying to beat stages. The crazy thing about this game is the PlayStation 5 version has a different trophy list than the PlayStation 4 version, and the PlayStation 5 version trophies are harder to get, and they did that on purpose. So it will not be like, I don't platinum any game, so it's one of those ones I'll keep. Dude, I actually have a shit ton of small games on my PlayStation right now. It's quite funny, but it'll be one that I just keep on there and play from time to time. I recommend it. I mean, it's like $10, and it's on every platform.
I'll look for it on Xbox. And
I know. I think who's that dude? Major whatever at Xbox.
Major Nelson.
Yes, he fucking tweeted out about it. It was on the Xbox's PlayStation has their PlayStation blog. Xbox it was featured on theirs on the Xbox version.
Xbox Insider.
Yeah, something like that. It's a good game, and I'd recommend it to people. I don't know. I'm not a side scroll person.
Video game wise, speaking of platinum, I got all the achievements on Sniper Elite 5. It's a Sniper Elite game. There's nothing more to say. If you played 4, it's the exact same thing. The invasion thing is kind of stupid.
It's forced multiplayer, like a lot of games they're doing that again.
Yeah. Because I needed 2 achievements that involved that. It's one to kill somebody in their campaign, and basically invade in somebody's campaign mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was I had to kill somebody invading my game. So luckily, the person invaded my game fucking sucked and basically ran right in front of me. And I'm like, that dude doesn't look like a normal NPC dude.
He's not acting like an NPC.
Yeah, so I shot him and got the achievement. I was like, all right, quit, fucking turn that off because that's stupid. The Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Oh yeah, no, that came out today. I need to download it.
It's
only from what I saw, it's only got a PS4 version, so there's no it's just a PS4 you download on a PS5.
No 5?
Yeah, there's no 5 version.
It's on Game Pass right now, and I downloaded it. I haven't touched it yet. So I'll probably check that out tomorrow. Other than that, video game wise, fucking Jeff Gershman left Giant Bomb, so there's now no original founding members of Giant Bomb anymore. After 14 years, he founded the company with him and Ryan Davis. And so they started their own thing. their own website, got bought out by a company called Whiskey Media that did Tested with Will Smith and Norman Chang, and which spun off to Mythbusters stuff with Adam Savage. And then Whiskey Media got bought out by CBS Interactive, which owns GameSpot. So it comes full circle that he ends up right back where he started.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can tell, like, when Vinny left, Brad left, and Alex left, and they started their own thing called Nextlander, which is pretty good. You can tell, like, Jeff just basically checked out. He got had a kid, had 2 kids, and then, like,
I'm sure as a founder, he got paid.
he got paid good money in the settlement when he sued fucking GameSpot.
Yeah. That's like fucking Inside Gaming. When all those guys are on there, they left. Inside Gaming's kind of like limping along right now. And then fucking Bruce and Lawrence went and started a channel called Inside Games. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I tell you what, some of the hardest laughs I've ever had was watching Giant Bomb videos, because they basically started the quick looks. What everybody does now was their thing, and it was kind of a joke because some of the quick looks, quote unquote, last like an hour and a half maybe. Mm-hmm. So they got to look at all aspects of the game, the multiplayer and the single player and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks now, but all new fucking cast members over at Dan Reichard, who left video game journalism to go work at WWE, his dream job.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get fired 2 years later.
Yep.
I read an article, he did a Twitch stream where he actually talked about getting fired and his experiences there, and he's like, I can't tell you how frustrating it is to come up with great ideas just to get either to go tell an old man who's either going to tell you no or tell you yes, and then just completely forget about it and not do it.
It's the same thing. I mean, fucking Max Landis said the same thing. Freddie Prinze Jr. said the same thing.
And one of his great ideas, he says, didn't go over well with the comments, like in the fucking news article. He was going to have NXT people rewatch 90s Attitude Era clips and have them react. So it would have been Johnny, Adam, Dakota Kai, and I can't think of the fourth person. All 4 of those people, not Malcolm Bivens. All 4 of those people not in the fucking WWE anymore. And just everybody was just shit canning.
I mean, it's not. I mean, depending on how you did it, it's really not a bad idea.
It was supposed to be like a podcast of them just watching 90s clips.
And you know what? I guarantee you, if they'd have done that, put it on YouTube, people would have fucking watched the shit out of it.
Considering how many Twitch people or YouTube people
that's why you
react
can't, like the
reaction
people,
videos.
The people who fucking go and shit post in comments, like, bro, you're the vocal minority. Because if they did that, those videos would have had thousands upon thousands of views.
Because the Jamal's, aka Jamal, he gets fucking hundreds of thousands of views reacting to music. Who's that fucking the African American guy, fucking super big, who basically Magnus? I can't remember his
food guy.
No, he's a big dude who he basically reacts to videos and trailers. And
oh no, I don't know.
He reacts to other fucking YouTube fucking videos.
Yeah, it's as long as you can fake a reaction and get like that's what it is.
He's got millions of fucking subscribers. Yeah,
because nobody truly, honestly reacts to anything like that.
Yeah, like I learned. All I got to do is just grab a fucking riding lawnmower and cuts people's grass. Guaranteed 1 million fucking views each video.
I mean, you gotta make sure the fucking, algorithm picks up your shit and plays it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I told her, I said, I gotta get off my ass and start doing shit. I wrote down, there's a whole fucking list in my bag over there. Shit I wanted to do. And I'm like, there's just no fucking drive to do it because I'm like, I don't have a space to do anything anymore. Goddamn tornado.
I guess rapid fire quickly of what stuff we haven't watched that I only watched and you haven't seen yet. One, Barry, this season just ended. Great fucking season. Complete 180 direction of like the previous two seasons. And very good. Very good season. Two, there's a Shudder original called The Sickness. No, The Sadness. Fuck. Always want to call it The Sickness. It's a Chinese film about...
I thought you said it was...
No, it's Chinese.
It is Chinese. They just filmed it
in Taiwan.
Okay.
Because technically Taiwan is...
Yeah.
In their eyes,
yeah, in their
it's
eyes,
China.
it's China.
Yeah. You can't give shout-outs to fucking Taiwan. Thanks.
Yeah.
John learned that mistake during Fast 9. So it's loosely based on a comic book called Crossed, which is about basically this virus wipes out most of the fucking world, and it turns people into violent sexual deviants. And who gets the more pain you put on them, the more pleasure, and the more they love it. They're all about fucking committing very raunchy or very violent acts on innocent people. It's actually a pretty good comic book. Well, this movie kind of, I wouldn't say rip off, but it's pretty fucking close to the point where, because Crossed, you know that somebody's infected because they get a cross going down the bridge of their nose and across their eyes. It looks like a cross. Mm-hmm. In the movie, when they're infected, their eyes, their pupils get like super fucking dilated, and they get this like blistery looking pus thing under their eyes to kind of show that they're infected. And it's basically they become violent sexual deviants who all they want is to just inflict so much pain on innocent people. And it's one of those movies. It's like the Serbian film where it's just like, we're going to be graphic just because, ooh, look how graphic in your face.
I mean, that sounds
look
like
how
it would
edgy
be,
we are.
You know, on my 1 to 5 scale, a 1 for, well, this exists.
Basically, yeah. Like out of 5, if I had to rate it, I'll give it like a 1.5, maybe a 2. Like, because every fucking shot was a good chunk of it was all practical effects, and the practical effects looked good with the some of the violent stuff that happened. Of course, there's like certain scenes that had to be fucking CGI, but I think I read that 90% of the film was all practical effects. And then I watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. And very good movie. Very well written, very funny. It's actually laugh out loud funny. Pascal is very good as the super fan. Nicolas Cage is basically playing Nicolas Cage. And throughout the film, he sees a very bad, de-aged Nicolas Cage talking to him. And he's like fuck them, you're Nicolas Cage, you're the biggest fucking movie star in the world, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And he's like the guy that, I guess, makes Nicolas Cage do stupid shit at times. And it's a very good film. Like, it's very good. And apparently it was one of those scripts that made the blacklist in 2019. Blacklist meaning the hottest scripts that nobody's bought yet for that year. And it took 4 or 5 times to convince Nicolas Cage to be in the film. And then Nicolas Cage only wanted to play the superfan. He didn't want to play himself, which would have been, he thought would have been way funnier. I'm guessing it would have been a superfan that got plastic surgery that look like Nicolas Cage. But who would you play to get to play Nicolas Cage?
That's...
Or he would have played double duty type of thing. Anyway, but yeah, definitely check it out. It was well worth the good reviews and the high Rotten Tomatoes.
So stuff that I've watched that you might not have watched. Well, for sure one. Watched the first 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. There's nothing wrong with the show. Like, yeah, I kind of don't like that they changed the origins of her powers, but they're going somewhere with it. It's still some kind of internal power. It's not just a bracelet or whatever that, you've seen in the previews. It's very much about, like culture, her Pakistani culture, and, they bring up like the crap that happened in the 70s when, Pakistan split from India. Like that was the second episode. So it's very good. People on the internet are just pieces of shit, review bombing stuff. And again, like I always say, that's the vocal minority of people. People that just, because again, they can get to go on the internet and say shit and do shit without any repercussions. But it's good. It's worth watching. It's very reminiscent of like the old 80s teen movies, 16 Candles, stuff like that. Who did all those?
Steve Hughes. No, John Hughes.
John Hughes, yeah.
Sorry.
So it's very much on that level. Art direction wise, it's pretty cool. They do, because kids text and communicate that way. They kind of incorporate the messages like into the environment of the scene. So like when she's texting, like the lights on a building will change into like a neon sign will change into what the text message says, and instead of like that old shitty graphical overlay of like the
comic style,
the text, one of the text bubbles.
Oh,
like
okay.
The little overlay of they don't do that. It's all incorporated into the actual environment. So it's a cool way to do that. I kind of did like how the second episode kind of like took a shot at how, Islam treats women. They were all at a mosque for prayer, and the main character and her like best friend are like talking, and they get called out, and they're like, well, we really can't see or hear you back over this way. Cause they're like, because they were talking to themselves, like the men's section's all pristine and perfect, and back here, like everything's falling apart. So, I mean, it's not just, again, because people on the internet are stupid. They don't pay attention to anything. They're like, oh, brown people, boo.
I mean, it's the same thing when Moon Knight came out. They were fucking shitting on that because of the culture and
yes, yeah. I mean,
Egyptian stuff.
Miss Marvel's great. You watch it. I don't know how many episodes that is though.
6?
No, I think it's more than 6.
Is it more than 6?
I think so. I watched a bunch of the Netflix is a Joke comedy specials.
Oh yeah, I watched those too. I watched the Noel McDonald.
I haven't watched that yet. I need to watch that one.
It's very good. It's an hour long of him doing a one take stand up on his computer for Netflix because of COVID happened.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing it to anybody either.
No, he had like a producer. He had somebody in the room.
Yeah, but help. Like he didn't. There wasn't to an audience. It was just him recording it.
Him recording. He did it in one take.
Yeah,
straight through. And then afterwards, there's like a little half an hour. It's David Letterman, Dave Chappelle, Adam Sandler, David Spade, Conan O'Brien, and Molly Shannon. Basically talking. They watch it and then
talk about it afterwards.
Talk awards right after, and then kind of give funny stories about Noel McDonald. And then I watched the Bob Saget tribute.
That I haven't watched. I still need to watch that one. I watched the like the Bill Burr Friends Killing It
Yeah, I heard it wasn't that good. Like,
dude, no, they're pretty. Like that one is good. The Pete Davidson one, because Pete Davidson did one where it was a bunch of other people. Amy Schumer did one where it was a bunch of other people. Bill Burr did one where it was a bunch of other people.
David Letterman.
Dude, David Letterman's got like the My Time Is Up.
No, David Letterman did isn't it like Rising Star?
Yeah, but it's like each like it's not. It's almost like the comedy, the stand-up segment of the Late Show.
Okay.
So they come up, they do that bit, and then they go sit and talk with him.
Oh, they interview him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I need to watch. There's one. Billy Eichner did one. I need to watch that one. Too bad we're probably not going to see the bit where the show that Chappelle got attacked at. Which, if I was Netflix, I'd put it on.
Miss Marvel 6 episodes.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Yep.
But I mean, it's still a really good show. Like. Again, like I don't like she was an Inhuman that was almost like Mr. Fantastic and her powers, but she was almost like Clayface. She's like Clayface in the comics, where she can stretch, make her arms and limbs bigger. She can change her look into somebody else. And if you played the Avenger, if you've seen the Avengers game that Square Enix put out, you can see like her power set. But that's really good. All those Netflix comedy specials are really good. I like the fact that Netflix throws money at comedians to do stand-up specials. I watched Eddie Izzard's latest on Amazon, and only Eddie Izzard could make an entire comedy special about history and just crazy shit. And it was filmed right before the lockdown. I think they filmed it like the end. It's like the last stop of his tour. At that point, they just decided to go do a small club, like where he first, like in the area he first started in. So it's just like him in a little small, like in a room, but like like the Improv and all that. Like the crowd's like right on top. Of the stage. Like this isn't even, he's not even on an elevated stage. Like he's standing on the floor and you just got like people around the square. It's like very small club setting. It's really like Eddie Izzard's like one of my favorite comedians. I remember watching the hell out of him in the 90s.
Yeah.
But that's real. That was really fun. I don't think really I've watched anything else.
I just remembered one other thing real quick. I watched a documentary about a drug kingpin from the 60s called Frank Matthews. Basically, everybody knows about Frank Lucas, American gangster.
The white kid?
No, that's Detroit. That's the 80s. Or the 70s. Frank Lucas is American gangster. Mr. Denzel Washington played him.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of the most famous guy just because of the story of like when he went to jail, the cop who fucking arrested him became his lawyer to get him on probation and get him out, and they became really close friends afterwards when he became a informant. Frank Matthews, Lucas was a huge big time drug dealer, but just in the New York area. Mm-hmm. Matthews, he was bringing in heroin from the original French Connection that Gene Hackman movie's based on.
Yeah.
So he was getting it straight from the source. He was getting like the most purest fucking heroin. And he didn't just have New York. He had New York, the East Coast, Florida, Louisiana. Apparently he was huge in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Well, because back then New Orleans was a go-to destination.
Yeah. So just like Frank Lucas and Pablo Escobar, the only way he got caught was like he got put on the radar was like the stupidest fucking thing. He lived in an apartment complex, and every weekend, all these fucking cars would take up the parking lot. So this old man filed a complaint with the New York cops that all these cars with out-of-state license is taking up parking spots and they can't park in their building. Just so happens a vice cop or detective is his next door neighbor. So then they start running the plates because the guy wrote down everybody's plates and gave it to the cops. And when he ran the plates, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is a fucking Italian mobster guy out of Boston. This guy's a fucking dude out of Chicago. What the fuck are they doing all here? And that's how he got put on the fucking radar because of parking issues. But the fascinating part is when his empire's starting to crumble and the cops basically catch him, he goes to trial. And he talks to the prosecutor, and they basically tell him, listen, you're getting life. And he was like, all right, fuck you. Jumps bail, takes $22 million. This dude was making hundreds of millions of dollars every year. He had $22 million cash that he hid. Took his fucking side piece 20-year-old girlfriend when he's like 50-something or 60-something and just disappears. Never to be seen or heard from ever since. To this day, the U.S. Marshals are still hunting him.
I mean, that's like Whitey Ford.
Yeah, they didn't find him they found him in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking lived on Grand Isle. Like, he had a home on Grand Isle.
And so...
And people were, like, freaked out when they finally caught him and his picture went on the fucking news. Like, all the people in Grand Isle are like, wait a minute.
Oh, it didn't work out too well for him.
No,
once he got into jail.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they don't know if he's still alive. He don't know if, like... Because... he kind of was butting heads with the Italian mafia.
I mean, it's pretty, if he was slinging drugs like that, he could have probably moved to Mexico and been taken in by a fucking cartel.
He could have went to Mexico. He could have went to fucking. I mean, you look at Cocaine Cowboys. One of the three brothers, I think it was like two brothers and a third guy. The third guy, no, it was a brother. One of the brothers, basically, fucking once the heat started to come up on them, two of the brothers tried to fight it in court. They're going to fight it to the death in court and clear their name. The third brother was just like, fuck you, and disappeared. He was living 20 miles from where he was doing his business and shit like that, like selling drugs, and he was like the accountant part of it. He was like 20 miles away the whole time, and they didn't find him until like 30 years later. I
mean, it is pretty easy. Like, if you commit to it, it's pretty easy to disappear in a country as big as this.
Yeah. Because a lot of people was like, either Matthews was killed soon after, which they think happened, or B, he got plastic surgery and he's in France or in Europe somewhere.
I just saw an article like a few days ago about this woman who's like literally, she runs like a bakery, and like she's been on like Food Network and shit, but she got busted. The pandemic, like she got busted because of the pandemic. She got PPE loans. She had an entirely separate name, social security number that she stole a dead infant's identity like 20 years ago. Like, so she got a hold of like social security card and all that. And what started the investigation was she claimed she was a stewardess on that identity, but she never left the country, and she tried to get her passport renewed, and they were like, you've never like used this. So they started investigating, and they come to find out she had like snatched this dead infant's identity like 20 years ago, and was running an entirely separate life and business underneath the other identity. So, I mean, there are ways to disappear if you really, truly wanted to.
Yeah, it's just how committed you are.
Yeah,
to living
you got to be completely committed to it. I know. Speaking of crimes, Pete Davidson made a joke in his special about Epstein and how people were calling out other people that rode on the plane. You know, like Chris Tucker and all that. When they went to Africa, they rode on Epstein's plane. He's like, "Look, man, I got a guy who flies me everywhere for free, and all I know is he's in waste management. I don't ask any questions. I get free plane rides. Have you ever tried flying commercial from California to New York? No, you haven't."
Did you see, speaking of Davison, did you see Kim Kardashian basically ruined the Marilyn Monroe birthday dress?
No, I didn't. I mean, like she's like
they for some reason
anybody whoever owned that dress and let her wear it should have known it was not coming back in the same condition.
So for some reason for the Met Gala, they loaned her the
JFK Marilyn Monroe happy birthday dress.
It's like, bitch, shut up! I'm here with my wife. The fucking Dave Chappelle joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's fucking ruined.
Well, I mean, yeah, because anybody who looks at Kim Kardashian and Marilyn Monroe and go, yeah, they're the same size.
Yeah. And apparently, the trailer came out for the new Marilyn Netflix film. That's basically going to be NC-17. That stars the Knives Out chick, Anna.
Anna. She's from the Anna
James
de Armas or whatever.
Yeah,
she was in No Time to Die.
Yeah, which they basically didn't really. She really didn't really was used that much in that movie.
No, she's. I think
very underused.
I think a lot of people in that movie were there to set up stuff going forward.
Yeah,
like they're reoccurring because they kill off Leiter. But they introduce her.
And they kill off Bond.
Yeah, so however they're going to do Bond next.
Because
it says at the end of it, like, James Bond will return, so.
They were just testing the waters. It's like, would you do a female fucking James Bond who's African-American?
I know. And again, another thing that the fucking internet blew up about before the movie came out, and it's like, no, bro, she had the fucking numbers. That's it. Yeah. She had the 007 numbers because he was retired. That's always been a thing. GoldenEye, you had that other one they introduced 005. Like it's just fucking numbers.
Yeah.
And I still like my theory that this Bond, the Daniel Craig Bond, has been all of them. Because there's a lot of time in between movies. It's kind of baked in that there's a lot of time that passes, and so you could just plug in the other movies, and they established that he's Scottish. Like, even though he doesn't speak with a Scottish accent, in Skyfall, his family home is in Scotland, so they're kind of like, he's Connery in the fucking DB7, DB5. Connery's DB5. He drives around in.
If anything, you could have said like Connery's his dad.
I mean, you could eventually, because they're going to have to do something with, because they're like James Bond. Like, they do have a way to bring James Bond back at some point because he had a kid.
If League of Extraordinary Gentlemen hasn't crushed Sean Connery's fucking soul enough, you could have got him.
I mean, he always wanted to, he always said he could only come back if he was a Bond villain. Which would have been that would have been a movie that would have fucking pissed some people off if he'd have came back and like been the original James Bond.
But he turned bad.
But he turned bad.
But they've done it before. I mean, wasn't Javier Bardem's character?
He was an agent, yes.
Agent that turned bad.
Yeah, but having Connery come back as the original James Bond and having Daniel Craig play like his son or his grandson that has to now go after him. Because, I mean, that's basically what they did with Blofeld. They made him James's half-brother. Yeah, because...
But that was in the books?
I don't remember what it is. I mean, it wasn't in the original movies, but it was part of the original story. Because, No Time to Die, that's how he gets the virus. Yeah. Because she kills Blofeld and he gets infected.
All right, shit we watched. One movie last time I did this that I couldn't think the name of. I remembered. Of course, when you go home, you remember. It's like, oh yeah, it was this. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers movie.
Yeah, which was way better than.
I wasn't expecting much because one, I don't like John. What's his face? Mulaney. And I really don't care too much about Andy Samberg. But Jesus Christ, this movie was funny. It was way better than
John
it was
Mulaney's
supposed to be.
Hilarious. We went to that show, his first show out of rehab. It was fucking hilarious.
Out of rehab, leave my wife and kids for Olivia Munn.
No, he didn't. I don't think he had kids before her.
Oh, you never had it with this first wife? Mm-mm. Oh. But yeah, so it turns out, Ugly Sonic
was the hero of. It was ultimately the hero. That was supposed to be Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been 100 times better. I would have said this movie's my movie of the year if that was fucking Jar Jar Binks.
But I mean, you know what is actually even better with this Ugly Sonic is it shows Disney can work with other people.
Yeah.
Because if it would have been Jar Jar, it's still a Disney character.
And then all the cameos and Easter eggs in this fucking movie. And
dude, it's a modern day fucking Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it could, I honestly want them to, make more.
The only fucked up thing is if you actually know the real story about the kid.
Yeah, well,
Peter Pan.
Child actors and, that's not just a Disney thing. That was, all studios treated kids like shit back then.
Yeah, but to have him, actually be Peter Pan. But, I think my funniest one was the...
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He had a shit life. He died alone. Nobody knew him. And, he's, nobody even knows where he's buried at this point. At least this version of Peter Pan was no, fuck this. I'm not, yeah, he's out of shape, unshaven, whatever. But he's nope, I'm going to do my own thing and fucking stick it to fucking Hollywood.
Really,
he's making bootleg movies, but he's fucking, he's taking all these other well-known fucking cartoons. They fucked Flounder up. That's what I was amazed of. I'm this is pretty dark. But I mean, again, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, in all honesty, was pretty dark.
When he took the shoe and put him in the dip.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not again, Disney makes hard-edged stuff.
They, probably the funny part I liked the most was the Uncanny Valley.
Viking, dwarf, whatever you want to call it.
I guess that whole fucking part of the city.
It was
the valley.
The valley is full of you remember that weird period when animation just was.
I read an article.
It's the Polar Express style.
Yeah. Dead eyes.
Yeah, he's you're not looking. I am looking directly at you.
So somebody made a post claiming that Baloo is Quantum Leap. So he leaps into the body of Little John, helps fucking Robin Hood defeat.
Oh, that's why. That's why he's in all these different shows from different time periods.
He leaps into Tailspin Baloo,
Jungle Book,
the other Jungle Book. The live action, not the live, yeah, the live action.
Baloo is Scott Bakula.
Basically, yeah. And I was like, dude, that makes sense.
Because it's Baloo the whole in every one of them.
Yep.
But I mean, that would be a great way to bring back all those afternoon cartoons.
I mean, supposedly there's a Duckwing Duck in the works.
Yeah, because I mean, he's in the movie.
Yeah, he's the mid credits.
Yeah.
Thing.
Duckwing Duck was such a great show.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That movie really is. It's way better than it needed. It just sounded like a crazy idea, and then they do it, and it's wait a minute, this is.
It's amazing how much they let them two get away with in this movie.
Mm-hmm. And then what is it? The Flies, the Allstate guy.
Oh, Zipper.
Yeah. His voice is the Allstate guy. It's so great.
Because the internet has to be fucking creepy. It was oh, my fucking gadget, there's no way she'll hook up with fucking, because that's my queen.
Yeah.
There's no way interspecies that she had.
They have all the weird
all those fucking kids.
All the weird fucking, what is that name? What is that term?
Interbreeding?
No. It was the whole world on Rick and Morty when all the fucking people on the planet got what is that term? of like mutated fucking. Oh, I can't remember, but like that episode of where the Rick and Morty left their original world.
Yeah, it's like every episode.
No. Like no, there's like clear like the Rick and Morty leave their world because everybody fucking on the planet starts mutating and turning in the fucking. I can't remember what the fucking name of it is, but they're all like fucking mutated and like fucking weird shit, and they go to the next planet, and fucking Rick and Morty had died, and they bury him on the fucking side of the house.
Oh yeah, and you're like, all right, this is close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like whatever. I can't remember what the fuck they call those kind of monsters, but that's basically what all of Chip and Zipper's fucking kids are.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah, like basically all their kids are like these strange mutated fly mice. I don't know. The internet's gonna make everything fucking perverted and creepy.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you let everybody talk.
What's next? The Boys.
Yes, all the way up to episode 4.
And I'd love this. So far, I'm loving this. Like Homelander, Anthony Starr's like going to a whole nother level with his character. I love what they're doing with his character this season.
I love Carl Urban. Like I like Anthony Starr. Like I like it. I think the first episode was like the penis shit was just gratuitous for gratuitous sakes.
Apparently, according to the producer, we haven't seen nothing yet.
Which like I don't like. So I watched like some of those cartoons.
Most of those cartoons are bad.
I watched the last one I watched was the one that looks like the comic. And
okay.
I'm like, at least that
the Simon Pegg.
Yeah, so at least that one is over the top but they do it to themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas the show is like, we're gonna have Butcher and them just do something outrageous, and then this one was like the dude termite exploding the dude from inside his dick, like. And then I saw like a picture on Instagram of like that was a practical penis head.
Well, that was a forced perspection.
No, they made
a life size.
They made a penis head that big so a naked dude could climb in it.
Okay.
There you go. That's Amazon's money.
They committed to the bit.
Then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm watching the credits and I'm like, this is fucking Sony. What the fuck?
See, that's the thing. It's like that's basically the first thing in the first episode is you see this party.
Well, no, I mean it's like second. Like the first bit is the movie in the movie premiere, and then it goes.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
the movie premiere. Then you go to that. Well, the first major thing.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron. Got to get all of the.
And again, it's like
got to do it for all the fucking comic book.
I was talking to
companies.
Teresa. We were eating yesterday. I'm like, in all honesty, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, it was a consensual thing, and he accidentally, the coke, but he sneezed, and...
You're really hung up on this fucking scene.
I can't, again, no, if we're going to talk about bad writing and shit, like, they want to throw him in jail for that, and it's like, they want to, like, I'm like, dude, that was consensual. It was an accident.
But it's one of those... I guess using your power when you're not supposed to type of things. Kind of.
I don't know. Like I can get like some of the other ones where they were going after people who were clearly abusing. Like, dude, this was consensual, but like, so them being pissed that they couldn't throw him in jail, him in jail. I'm like,
it's not just that, but there was previous crimes. They were going there to catch him. He just so happens to blow up his fucking partner's penis.
I mean, I don't know. It's
they were going there to arrest him anyway.
But it's one of those things shit. Like, and then the producer, like the writer, whatever, is like, oh yeah, this is directly a result from the fucking Ant-Man meme. I'm like, that's not a reason to write shit.
But it's also the fact of they were just like, because it's so early in the first episode, it's just like, all right, here we go. Let's just get this out of the way. This is our big extreme fucking moment, and then because everything after that, it's been.
Yeah, it's not.
It's been tame compared to that scene. Apparently, there's more down the line coming to, but But yeah, the Homelander shit of just finally feeling free.
I mean, and it's a direct fucking correlation to what's going on in the fucking world at this point.
Oh, I mean, it's fucking obvious that he's
Trump. He's Trump.
Yeah, but his acting in this and his facials and expressions and stuff like that, and him getting the white American males behind him because he's white,
you know, Mother's
blonde
Milk
hair,
is
fucking blue.
Milk is going to end up killing his ex's new husband.
So now that he can speak his mind and not get bashed by the fucking people because he has to be loved by the people. He has to have this fucking front.
It's either love and admiration or I'll destroy everything.
So now I can do what I want. Like I can basically turn on fucking Gus Vaught and have him kicked out. I can turn his adopted daughter,
but he still didn't go. He still didn't do anything to him.
No, because he's deep down, he's still fucking afraid of him.
Yeah,
like he might. Cause that's Homelander's biggest thing. He knows how to put on a front in front of people, but like inside, like he's fucking. Either he wants to lash out with extreme violence, or he's afraid.
And then seeing the Homelander costume in the animation of that comic book one, like I'd much rather his outfit look like that with the one big fucking
with his
Judge Dredd fucking eagle on one side.
His first mission. The first mission he goes on with Black Noir.
No, it's the anime with Simon Pegg when the dude fucking Wide Wonder or whatever.
Oh,
the drug one.
Yeah. Okay. So there's another really good one. I think it's like the last episode.
Oh, okay.
Where it shows his origin, like growing up, doing the experiments on him and the trials and stuff like that, and then him actually going out on his first assignment in Black Noir, who's the already established hero, is basically his handler, and Homelander, who's very young and naive, basically thinks he's doing the right thing, but he doesn't know Vought yet is doing this stuff, and he accidentally kills the hostages because he can't really control his power that well. And so yeah, that one's a very good. Like I said, out of all those cartoons, like maybe 2 or 3.
I did like Laser Baby's Day Out, that old school.
The Seth Rogen episode.
Yeah, because that's the first one.
Yeah,
the old school like Looney Tunes.
I love the. Did you get to the School of Misfits?
Yes,
that was very good. It's like yeah, we got superpowers, but we got like the shittiest fucking superpowers, and then it's just a lot of great voice actors in it that you can instantly recognize.
The dude from Rick and what's his face?
Justin.
That
fucking Rick and Morty.
Yeah, fucking papers. I can find the paper. I'm like, that's so fucking hilarious.
And then
there's a lot of papers. I can't read them all.
All those episodes, those cartoons, ties into this fucking season because you see the orphanage that
they're all from,
in the live show. And then you knew instantaneously when.
And I assume Laser Baby's the one from season 1.
Yeah. And like the second Subsonic told A-Train about the thing.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, you're fucked. I didn't think he was gonna die that quickly, but yeah, when Homelander fucking the best part, Jesus Christ, the best scene that should win an Oscar is the Timothy scene.
You mean an Emmy?
No, an Oscar.
Like
it's so good. The fucking Timothy scene is so fucking good. The octopus.
Oh.
It's like, but that's my friend. And then his wife's like fucking texting him, it's like, fucking eat the octopus. and it's like, he's crying out for help. And he's like, God, that scene was so fucking good. Or when A-Train came up to him and he's like, I can see your fucking girdle, and just walks right
Yeah.
past him. Just, oh, dude, it's like he is so fucking good in this season.
And fucking Soldier Boy with his did he have the fucking depowering chest laser originally, or is that a Russian thing?
I'm guessing that's a Russian thing. That he is the weapon. He is the person. He is the weapon now.
So whatever they did, like, what did they do to him to catch him?
So the next episode is the musical episode. Because they said they want to do a musical episode, and that's set up because back in episode 1 when what's her name? The Asian.
Oh,
actress.
Kamiko.
Like when she starts singing, when the lady's playing the like in her mind, she's singing when the lady's playing the piano. So she's going into shock because she's dying. Like her powers have been fucked because of the laser. So this explains the musical episode.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be I can't wait to watch that tomorrow.
See, that's why a Joker musical will work. If this is gonna work, a Joker musical can work.
So I'm guessing, and plus he's like Jensen Ackles, Dean. I'm just gonna call him Dean from Supernatural. He's very good because he's the fucking Captain America type guy, but he's the complete opposite of Captain America. He's a fucking douchebag who's got these superpowers.
Because everybody in that's my one issue with again, it's the story, it's what it is. Like every superhero is a piece of shit.
Basically, it's like you get all these powers, you become godlike. Look at fucking Hugh when he got his power. Look at him, like, oh my god.
Just for something, like, there's none of them there's no superhero at all.
Starlight.
No, because she's not as innocent as she seems either.
But she's way more, less of a fuck up and degenerate than, like, I didn't even recognize fucking Red Scarlet is, Red Crimson?
Crimson something.
Yeah. That's fucking... What's her face? Andrea from Walking Dead.
Yes.
Didn't recognize her with the red hair and stuff. But that scene was funny. It's like, do you know tramps can't cry? It's been such a good fucking first couple episodes this season.
And again, like, I really don't think the Black Noir reveal is legit. Because the only person Homelander doesn't screw with is Black Noir. So he's got to, like,
you'll see in the cartoon. Like, watch the cartoon.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen that. But again, to go with the comic book, like,
oh yeah,
there's a reason why. Like, he
is plan B if he is the fucking weapon if Homelander goes off the rails. And the big reveal, which... A lot of, because I watched Easter egg stuff, and they talk about, and then when it got to that part of the reveal of Black Noir, like he didn't say, it's like, I'm not going to ruin what the comic book is, just in case you haven't read the comic book, you want to go back and read it. Other figures like, oh yeah, by the way, this is so and so.
Oh yeah,
it's completely different.
Dude, Screen Crush is way better at, like, we're not gonna. If it's something that's widely known, then we'll talk about it. But, like, they're not gonna, because not every, like, again, I think The Boys is one of those comics that, some producer saw it and was like, this would be awesome.
I mean,
because everybody wants to make an evil Superman story. That's the issue.
I mean, James Gunn did it.
Yeah, but I mean, again, at least that was, every superhero was evil. Like, at the end of that, they showed all the other news reports about the other members of the Justice League, and they were evil. This was literally, like, the planet. He was sent to Earth. Brightburn was sent to the Earth to fucking enslave it. So it's not like he just broke bad, which is what everybody wants. Everybody wants the Superman that has his one bad day, as the Joker would say.
Yeah. Injustice.
Yeah, and the whole point of Superman is, like, it doesn't matter. He's he is that much better than you. Like, he's not going to have that one bad day.
He's supposed to be the good.
Yeah, he is like the pinnacle of the ideal of good.
Yeah.
He's not going to have one bad day.
No
matter what happens.
Then the other thing we watched is the Obi-Wan.
I don't know, man. I still think this show's great.
This last episode really fucking kind of soured me on this series. It's just some of the writing in it. It's just kind of bad. You can tell was heavily rewritten. Like 90% of the script was rewritten.
Well, no, because these last 2 episodes. So I think, because again, the whole story was they went and redid shit, right?
Supposedly they ripped up, like they completely redid the scripts.
I want to say the first 4 have the same writing credits, and then the last 2 have writing credits from different people.
Okay.
So, like, because one of the guys with the writing credits, because it's 2 writers credited for this episode and I think the next episode, and one of them's like a Pixar guy.
Yeah, he did.
And again, Star Wars has always had bad dialogue. Like, that's just the style.
I mean, that was fucking mainly George Lucas because he.
So
sucks
you
as a
don't
writer.
again like Rogue One wasn't much different.
Rogue One's probably the best.
But it's you overlook the dialogue where it's because it looks and feels so much like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, it fits perfectly with the aesthetic of the original trilogy. So it is the best Disney-made movie. I don't know. Like, I don't see, just like, again, everybody can survive a stab to the gut, but fucking Qui-Gon.
I mean, like, one person got stabbed twice and she's still alive. The Grand Inquisitor magically fucking comes back.
No, but here's the thing. Like, at that point, like, the Grand Inquisitor probably, the same thing that happened to Fennec probably happened to the Grand Inquisitor. And I think they say that, I'm pretty sure fucking canon on that species is they've got double organs. Because, even if it's humanoid, they got to put something in to make them weird. But
I do say the only thing I liked about that episode was the fight scene between the third sister and Vader.
Wait, because he just plays with her, and then I love they ripped off
Jedi.
Force Unleashed.
Well, that and also Fallen Order.
No, he doesn't. Who rips? No, I'm talking about the Vader yanking the ship out of the fucking sky.
Oh yeah, well, Starkiller.
Starkiller was the first person they ever showed do that.
But that was like a fucking trailer. That wasn't in the actual game. The only time he did that in the game was in the DLC. In the DLC, you play New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back. And it's him, because you have the choice. Either you join Vader and kill Palpatine, and you become his apprentice, and you rule the galaxy together, or you kill Vader, and it's the good ending. Well, the DLC stuff was like, yeah, we're just going to say you fucking join what's-his-face, Vader, and you kill Palpatine. And now you go to Tatooine and you fight Kenobi as fucking the Millennium Falcon's trying to get away. And you pick up fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and you throw him into a jet engine.
Either way, because then you didn't see it again until fucking the last fucking Jedi.
I love those games too. Force Unleashed were such good games. It sucks they didn't sell well.
And he had so that had to be what? That had to be Force Unleashed 2, right? Because he's he's in the original canon. He is like part of the initial birth of the rebellion.
Starkiller?
Yeah.
Yes, he was a small child. One of his dad was, I think,
his dad. Well, no, his dad and his mom were Jedi. I saw a video on it today. They were like, it was Generation Tech did like Jedi who sacrificed themselves to save others. And his mom and his dad were both Jedi, fell in love, got married, had a kid in secret, and then left the Order.
It's been so long because
And
the first
game shows they went to live on Kashyyyk, and Vader shows up.
Yeah, because the first thing you do is you play as Vader going to Kashyyyk to kill Jedis.
Yeah.
And you find him as a little boy, and then you take him in secret.
Yeah,
your secret
'cause
apprentice.
Vader kills his. Vader's got his dad held up, and Galen, which is what his original name, which is why they named Mad Mikkelsen's character Galen, is a homage to Starkiller.
Because that's originally Skywalker's name. Luke was supposed to be Skykiller.
Yeah.
Or Skywalker. No, fuck.
Starkiller.
Yeah, something like that.
So, but yeah, then they show him pull the fucking lightsaber out of fucking Vader's hand, and that's when he realizes how strong the kid is. And
it's like, I'm gonna keep you as my secret apprentice just in case I want to.
Yeah. I Disney has made the best version of Darth Vader. You're right. The fight with the third sister, like basically, like you're nothing to me. Like I don't even need my lightsaber. He doesn't use his own lightsaber at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that he snatches both of hers and then throws one back to her and is like, all right, come on. And still like nothing. It's again, and people were like, oh, why did he leave her alive? Like, cause again, he uses people. Like if he has a use for you, you stay alive. If he has no use for you, you die. Like, cause he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So leaving her alive, like, again, because he knows she's probably going to go after Kenobi, or he assumes she's just going to die, or at least that's how the Grand Inquisitor, so it makes me think, like, that's how they found her. Like, after the Purge, after Order 66, they found her, like, wounded and, like, sickly, like, trying to survive on the street. And they took her in, and I think Vader knew who she was the whole time.
I guess she sensed like her Jedi, like her. I guess.
Well, I mean, if she got taken in when she was a kid and trained like the rest of the Inquisitors, like the one from Fallen Order, was taken in as a kid and trained and brainwashed and tortured into becoming an Inquisitor. So if they did that to her as well, like. Anakin probably looked at her and remembered her.
This thing, it's the, I think the game comes before this.
Yeah, I don't know when the exact timeline, because everyone's like, oh, it's 5 years later. They should have known somebody could swim in. I'm like, there was no shields or like.
It's also, is a video game really canon to the fucking big overall universe?
Yeah, because not everybody's going to play it and know.
Yeah.
Like, again, that's people nitpicking on the internet.
It's because the people that jump to conclusions of like, oh, there's a huge plot hole.
Yeah, this is a huge plot hole in continuity because she knows like Anakin, he wouldn't have let her know. Like,
no, it's not that. It's the fact that the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh yeah,
died.
The Grand Inquisitor shouldn't be dead. Like,
yeah, because he's in Rebels.
None of you should have thought if you were as big of fans as you claim to be, you should have known he wasn't dead. That there was something else up. But again, that's my biggest issue with so-called critics online and on YouTube, like Angry Joe and people who I like Double Toasted and Jeremy and Dan Merle.
I haven't seen Double Toast in a while. Like, they stopped popping up on my feed.
That's why you're supposed to subscribe to people.
I know. I know.
They look at these episodes as standalone, and they review them as individual parts. And it's like, you hated broadcast television and network TV because, oh, these standalone episodes and nothing ever connects, and they're like week to week. Then Netflix spoiled you and gave you like 10 episodes at once. So you'd watch it and you'd look at a show as one story. Well, this is one story. They're just giving it to you in chunks. But all these critics want to sit there and go, this show sucks because this episode doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense. And the story The story is episode 1 through 6.
The Taika Waititi tweeted out that he's about to start filming his Star Wars film, and that it's going to be completely different from everything else and fun new characters. It's like its own story, its own.
I'm sure the what's his faces that did Solo originally are probably pissed because knowing that this one's going to be more comedic.
Oh, the brothers.
Yeah, the fucking dudes who did Community.
Yeah,
and they got shit canned because their version of Solo was too comedic.
On top of that, the Catherine Kennedy basically came out and said, "This is it for the Skywalker. Like once Kenobi's done, this is it for that story. So we're not doing any more. There will be no more Solo movies of like established characters with younger actors playing them."
Then didn't she walk that back too?
Did she?
Yeah. Because again, people like, here's the thing. And all the people who complain, oh, I'm tired of Tatooine. I'm tired of all, like, that's what Star Wars is. Without Luke and Darth Vader and the Skywalker family, you'd have none of these movies. That's like if people read it, and then when Stephen King put out the rest of the second book, to finish the story, that people would have been like, this is stupid. We're tired of this. We don't want this. Like, it's the fucking second half of the fucking story. Like, I don't have a problem with fucking just, as long as you're telling good stories, I don't see why people complain, oh, I'm tired of seeing these characters. Then go watch something else. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah. It's just people want to complain.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. People complain about, oh, there's too many Marvel. Like, you don't have to watch them.
I guess the other thing we both watched is Stranger Things. Did we talk about that?
We did talk about it. Yeah, because the last time we did it, we talked about the last episode.
Okay. Still got that song stuck in my fucking head. And apparently back in the 90s, she did a live version with David Gilmour on guitar. So it's a late 80s, early 90s fucking Gilmour with that guitar that has no string.
No frets.
No frets at the top. That shitty looking guitar.
Oh, the
80s guitar.
Yeah, without the tuners.
Yeah, the tuners, yeah. The electric guitar, I guess you could say. But yeah, can't get that fucking song out of my head. It's fucking everywhere now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second half, and it's 2 episodes, and I think they said the last episode's only like 2.5 hours.
No, I thought it was almost 3.
I mean, it's like, but it's not 3. It's under 3 hours.
Yeah, they're saying it's basically in game, not in. Is it in game or Infinity War? It's like one of the two. It's.
I don't know.
It's basically you're watching a Marvel film.
To me, I'd have been like, you know what? Just put them out. You're putting out what, like 4 hours worth of shit?
Well, why didn't you just save the whole fucking thing until July 4th weekend and just put them all out?
I mean, again, I think it's like doing the Better Call Saul thing.
The Emmy?
Yeah. And again, if the boys could get nominated for an Emmy, fucking Stranger Things can get nominated. And there's a season 5 of Stranger Things.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually happens.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's already a done deal.
Yeah, but how many years it's got to be before that fucking comes out?
I mean, they're going to have, well, from what I understand, they're going to do it. There's going to be, they've written in a time jump.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a huge fucking tie jump.
So, I mean, I'm like, again, so it's what, 86?
86.
And they're freshmen?
Yes.
So if they were to shoot it now, they could do a time jump to like 89, 90, and they would all be the appropriate age.
Yeah.
Because they all are
early 20s.
Like, not even. They're all like 19.
No, she just turned 18.
She just turned 18.
Yeah.
The dude,
Will?
No, the short guy, the fat one with the curls.
Oh.
With the teeth.
Yeah.
He's like 17. Like, I don't think he's even 18 yet. So I think you do a time jump to like 89,
'Cause
like
I think
90, going to make it like the whole thing like the 80s going into the 90s. Because that transition, and they should all be.
I think Lucas and the main dude, not Will, but the other guy,
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah.
Because I think
his real name's like Finn Wolf something.
Yeah, I think they're in their 20s or
early 20s.
Very early 20s.
Yeah. So I think so I mean that's probably what they'll do. Is they'll time jump to like 89, make it like that would probably be the easier, like make it like New Year's, the end of the 80s.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because then there'll be their senior year, they're graduating. Like life's like gonna change.
I guess quick news, real quick. It was shown that Todd Phillips has written a script for Joker 2, and people think it's going to be a musical. Lady Gaga is attached to it, who's they think
more than likely going to play a version of Harley Quinn.
If she does a fucking shitty accent like the House of Gucci,
I seriously, I think that was deliberate because I think that woman sounds funny.
Even the dialogue coach was like, I don't know what the fuck she's going for.
I don't know.
So that's coming out. What We Do in the Shadows got renewed for season 5 and 6. So very good news. Staying in Taika Waititi's world, All Flags Mean Death officially got season 2. HBO wanted to wait until the first day of Pride month to announce it. I'm sure there's Spider-Man's coming back to theaters.
Yep, the more fun
director's cut
edition,
basically,
or whatever. Yeah, get it some more money.
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm trying to think of what else. I'm sure there's other. Ray Liotta died, unfortunately.
I mean, there was the game announcements that happened this past week.
So our our text conversation after the Xbox thing, it's like, now I understand the WWE fans who only like WWE and wants nothing to do with AEW. Everything AEW
Bro, I'm sorry.
Shit.
Starfield is No Man's Sky. It's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not, because you can't fly from the planet to space. It's a fucking loading screen.
And it's basically fucking Skyrim or Fallout in space.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a Bethesda game. It's going to have a million fucking bugs.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
like No Man's Sky had
well, I mean,
when
it's
it
just
first
like
launched.
all the Xbox fans when it was announced that it was going to be exclusive were like, oh, we got Starfield. Oh. Who cares?
I mean, basically everything.
I don't care about exclusives anyway because I don't play exclusives.
Everything
the only exclusive I think I've ever played is now Ghost and Infamous back when it was on. The original Infamous.
The only thing I played was about
the old God of Wars. Let's think that's when I played
God of Wars and Uncharted. That was it.
And I could give two shits. Like, I could give two shits about Naughty Dog. I just think
I love Uncharted.
But I mean, I think it's one of those like everybody's like, oh, they spent all this money and they did it. I'm like, bro, they spent $7 billion to get Starfield.
Pretty much everything they announced, even the Summer Games Fest with Keighley, it's everything that's already been announced.
Yeah, there's literally nothing new.
They're waiting until E3, and they're going to do their E3 shit to announce like the games that's not going to come out for like the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but E3, there's no E3 this year. This was it.
No, there's going to be another like.
This is it. There's no E3 thing. This was it. The Summer Game Fest was it.
No, I'm sorry. There's Comic-Cons.
Oh actually. San Diego and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, I got it mixed up.
But But I mean, it's just like, they announced The Last of Us Part 1, which is the umpteenth remake of... Because, again, Naughty Dog's just, squeezing every penny out of The Last of Us like Skyrim.
We're not going to do nothing to 2 because everybody hates 2.
Oh, no, they're going to do it because it's Part 1, so they're going to do 2 as well.
2's already fucking... of PlayStation 5. They're upgrade it anymore.
Dude, they did it the same thing with The Last of Us. They did The Last of Us, and then they did The Last of Us remastered on the PS4, and then they put out the PS4 version works on the PS5. Dude, yeah, they're gonna fucking every little because people are like,
well, they're gonna
critics are like, oh, Last of Us Part 2 is way better than people give it credit for.
It's a long and boring fucking game. It's like the first one.
I am still of the impression that you killed off one of your main characters for shock value.
Yeah. And it's also, I played Part 1 because, like you said, everybody was in love with that game when it came out. It was winning all these awards.
No, here's the thing. When that game first came out, you can go back and look at the reviews. People shit all over that game because the AI like Ellie's fucking AI sucked.
Well, yeah.
So that game only got good after they because again.
But that was like what, PS3.
Yeah, but I mean either way, it's still like people fail to remember that game got shit on when it first came out.
I played up until you get to Pittsburgh, and I'm like, dude, I'm done with this game. This is boring and long, and it's just. I'm not. I already knew the story. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I own Spider-Man and Miles Morales because it came with the bundle. The PlayStation Premium, like, I've gotten. I had access to God of War, the new one, forever now. Never felt like playing it. I don't know, man. My video game tastes are not these great exclusives with great stories.
Yeah. It's the whole fact of it's just.
And my hatred for Microsoft has nothing to do with games.
Oh, does this go back to like an old computer thing?
Like I spent a decade as an IT person.
They finally
fuck Microsoft.
They officially killed off
Internet Explorer finally. Yeah, I know.
20-something years.
Like, yeah, no, that's where my hatred for Microsoft comes from. And it's just like, people complain, again, oh, Game Pass is so great. Yeah, as long as Microsoft is okay with throwing away money, Microsoft is great for you.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking fantastic. I love Game Pass.
The best showcase out of everything was Final Fantasies today.
Oh, I watched Capcom's. Did you watch Capcom's?
I mean, I saw it. I scrubbed through it.
It's basically the Resident Evil con.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same stuff that they showed on the PlayStation.
The thing is, they gave an announcement on the DLC that should have came out last year.
Yeah. They gave a date for
Resident Evil 4.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Final Fantasy one. They gave a date for
what, episode 2?
Yep, it comes out next winter.
Oh Jesus!
They're like 3 years. They even said it's going to be 3 years from when
cycles.
Well, yeah, it's 3.
So how many episodes is
3? They announced it officially too. Like it's going to be 3 separate games, and like
can you fit
been
that
3 years between? Well, no, they're telling the story's not going to be identical. Like it's changing because this one ended with fucking Zack being alive.
It's been so long. I haven't played that game since.
I need to play Integrate. I need to play the Yuffie stuff. But I saw that and I'm like, hell yeah. And they're remaking Crisis Core, so it's not stranded on the PSP anymore. And according to them, like, there's 4 different games in development, 4 Final Fantasy VII games in development of different, sizes, but they all kind of feed into the same story. The trailer they showed because the second one's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, you hear Aerith talking to Cloud, and like she's like, "What do you mean you saw me dead?" So there's like this weird like timeline like bleeding over whatever Sephiroth did in this version of 7 screwed shit up. So that's how you make a remake. Like, you change the story. You don't make it frame for frame like a redo. they're making some weird game. It's an iOS game, but Square makes a lot of their Final Fantasy games over for mobile. So, but that one had the most crap that I was worried about. I was interested in because the other game things didn't really show shit.
Quick update. Golden State's up by 12 now with 7 minutes left.
So yeah, I guess that's it for this week's version of the Media Clash podcast. Showcase Con is in 2 weeks.
Next week.
Yeah, next week, not 2 weeks, 26th. The weekend of the 26th. We will not have a table, but we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll probably be there. We'll do probably more interviews.
Yeah, I didn't want to get a table and carry. It's bad enough I'm going to have to carry around and walk around in a boot and this blood machine.
I mean, we can get you a wheelchair. Roll you around.
So, but yeah, we'll probably have a booth for October
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Jim Shooter. So come out and meet Jim Shooter, one of the icons of comic books from the 80s and 90s.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
Figure from Marvel's past.
Basically broke off and started Valiant.
Yep. And Valiant is the one Valiant Comics is where Bloodshot came from and which spawned that horrible Vin Diesel movie.
Magnus, the robot fighter, and
Io Manowar.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And probably was the hottest books. Like the Unity books was fucking white hot. It was so fucking expensive, the value. And then he came out with a little contest on, we're going to draw, you buy the comic book, and they got codes inside the comic book. And we're going to make a drawing after a couple months. And if the number we draw is the one in your comic book, you basically win every single issue of Valiant we have ever published. Every fucking thing. So they mass produced the shit out of those comic books with those codes in them.
Yeah, they just fucking killed the value.
Fucking decent. It's like why comic books now are not really worth anything because, especially the 90s, unless you got like high graded key books.
Yeah.
Because they made fucking same with baseball cards and sports cards in the 90s.
Yeah, they oversaturated.
Oversaturated the market, and just it's not worth anything because it's not that rare. And it's like
you got to wait for natural disasters for shit like that to go up.
Yeah. Oh, you get that one key book of like fucking what's his face, some random character makes an appearance for like one panel, and 20-something years later they're gonna make a movie about him.
Yeah.
Now
that one comic shoots
his
up.
First appearance.
Yeah.
It's like the Gambit thing. Now Venom. Venom's first appearance ain't in this comic book. It's
technically in the one before it.
Technically in this comic book because in Weber's...
He's in like a panel.
No, it's not even that. In Weber's Spider-Man, I forgot what issue, Peter Parker he's dressed as Peter. He's Peter Parker. He's not Spider-Man. He's waiting on a train. He's on and gets fucking pushed. His spider senses doesn't go off. But you don't see who pushed him. It's just a shadow pushes him.
That's technically, yeah.
So technically everybody's like, nobody even thought about it. 20 years down the road, it's like, oh, well, that's Venom. It has to be Venom. So technically that's his first appearance now, not Amazing Spider-Man 298.
Yeah.
Or 297 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it works.
It's like Secret Wars number 8 is technically forever was the first appearance of the
black suit
symbiote costume. But if you go back to this other comic book, it's just same with Gambit. They mentioned Gambit was a marauder.
Mm-hmm.
In this one issue, they were in the sewers, and once again, somebody in the fucking shadows that they briefly mention, but you don't see, and it's like, oh, that's got to be Gambit in the shadows. So now that's his first appearance. It's people who...
I mean, it's just like this. It shows it's retcon after the fact.
No, it's the fact of I have 1,000 of these one books.
Yeah. So let me
fucking drum up some
business and be able to sell them. Yeah.
Yeah, let me start something on the internet saying, oh, well, technically, let me start some shit
Yeah.
on the internet. So now these books are going to be more valuable. But if you send it off to CGC, a lot of times it's like, no, this
is the actual recognized.
This is, yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be there, hanging out, walking around. So yeah, until next week, we're out.